Svetlana, and I'm glad to welcome you on our mini conference. My presentation, 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay, can you see it? So, the topic of my talk is unmet needs and stress, a vicious cycle. Dogs and people have different perceptions and reactions. For example, dogs have some off-putting quirks of human opinion. Crotch sniffing, rolling in mud and poo, eating rotten things off the ground, and other. Briefly, I have two things to say. Human can prevent canine stress, and unmet need is a cause of stress, always. And first of all, I tell you about myself. When I was a child, I wanted a dog so badly, and I wanted to be a vet, but I've become a psychologist and a business coach. And last year, I decided to get a new profession to become a dog specialist. And now I've finished my education on dog behavior in the modern University of Sinology and aggression in dogs master course. Besides that, I have finished a course in calculation of food rations, and I can make a diet for healthy dogs and cats. I don't really think of myself as a dog trainer. I am more of a coach, and equipping pet owners with the tools and understanding needed to build the harmony relationship with their dog. And my goal is to make dog parents to be confident. I think it's so important. I use scientific supported and reward-based approaches that put the welfare of dogs and their humans above all else. I love teaching and running workshops and speaking at conferences, but this my first experience, and writing articles, posts, and guides for pet owners. Let's look at connection of stress and needs. Stress is very important for all creatures because it's our function of the safe and development. But stress can become a distress, which is destructive for organism. And there is only one cause of distress: deprivation of needs. Dogs have 3 types: vital needs, social needs, and needs of self-development. Vital needs are food, water, elimination, homeostatic balance, sleep and rest, grooming, and physical safety. Social needs, like communication with other dogs and people and other creatures, breeding, offspring care, and social safety. Needs of self-development, it's my favorite needs because it's very interesting. Needs of self-development such as new information, play and games, imitation, and freedom. In other words, when a dog doesn't meet needs, distress starts. And why am I talking about a vicious cycle between needs and stress? Let me explain. Now, I'm going to describe you 2 cases and ask you to drop your one idea to the chat box. What can lead a vicious cycle in each case? And first example. There is a dogs for walk on a long enough leash for having space to use body signals for quality communications with other dogs. The owner prohibits and pulls the leash. It's not comfortable for the dog. She connects pain from the collar with another dog. The next time, situation repeats. Our dog is learning that other dogs are a pain, and it's bad, and she starts to be aggressive with
Я могу слышать, что
at any dog. Okay. Her owner is upset because he doesn't understand what's happened. Why is his dog so aggressive and doesn't want to play with other dogs? And what do you think about the situation? What elements of a vicious cycle can you see here? Drop your answers to the chat box. Unmet need in communication because of owner's actions. Yes, it's absolutely, Tatiana. Body language is changed. Of course. Yes, Sasha. That's right. Choice. Yes, it's freedom. It's need of self-development. Freedom it's very important for all creatures. Okay. Let's look at the slide. And we have a vicious cycle. Unmet need for proper communication, freedom, and physical safety. So stress for the dog, aggressive reactions, and stress for the owner. As an illustration, a second case. A family with two small children, takes a puppy. The children play with puppy all day long, and when puppy, wants to sleep, they wake him up. The puppy starts peeing everywhere. Parents are punishing him, and the puppy does it in secret places, of course. And what about this case? Write your version of the vicious cycle to the chat box. Lack of sleep. You are right, Sasha. Lack of sleep, of course. Dog cannot express his emotions. It's interesting opinion, Tatiana. Yes. Okay. In this case, we have the following vicious cycle. Unmet need for sleep and rest, you all right, and stress for the puppy, uncleanliness, stress for the owner, deprived need for physical safety, and more stress for the puppy. It's terrible, isn't it? It's a double vicious cycle. I'd like now to recap that for the wellness of dogs and their humans, it's very important to know all about canine needs, consider and fulfill it. And for your help, I suggest a checklist for a self-test. Is your dog in stress now? If you will answer yep more than one question, most probably your dog needs help. So, does your dog have destructive behavior, uncleanliness, hair loss or dull fur, nervousness, a dog itches all the time, imitation of sexual behavior, appetite disorder, leash beating always, increased need for motor activity on the your walk, and unpleasant body or mouth odor, displaced behavior, including displaced aggression. The dog sleep less than the norm. Tatiana talked us about the importance of sleep for the dog, and impaired concentration and forgetfulness. And some questions which may indicate distress. How many hours does your dog sleep during a day? How many times do you go for a walk, and how long is each walk? What kind of games does your dog prefer? For example, overactivity games are not useful for the dog. You would prefer such games, sniffing activity, simple tricks, or development games. And 5 questions. Question: how often do you walk with your dog during the day? I mean, how much attention your dog gets from you and family members. And how does your dog treat other dogs, people, kids, cats, and other creatures? And how does your dog can relax? You see, the dog needs simple things, and every one of pet parents can give it for their dog and make her happy. So that's all, and I hope that my report was useful for you. And does anyone have any questions or comments? Drop to our chat box, please. New messages. Oh. What's your ideas about second case? Okay, your question. If my dog is always hungry, is it eating disorder? What do you mean about always hungry? How do you understand that she's always hungry? Out, please. And Tatiana, my dog has an aggressive behavior towards other dogs since teenage. He has got a terrible experience being biting by 2 large dogs. How can I help my dog to meet his social needs in communication with other dogs if he is so afraid of them? Oh, it's so sadly. I recommend to see a specialist because situation with aggression and any situation need a complex analysis, but main recommendations are increasing self-confidence, controlling, and desensitizing to talks. Sasha, asking all my food. Mm. It may be it may be not good habit. It's not correct. Learned some habits about your eating. So I think we must not we must you should analyze the situation when your dog asks all your eat, and I sure that it's not always, but maybe some important situations when it's not one second, please. It's not correct because you learned here it. So next question, especially why? Especially breaded croissants. It's tasty things. I agree with your dog. So. Thank you, Tatiana. Okay, that's all. And I thank you for your attention and very much, and see you.